I'm going to run you guys through every secret and hidden event in Experience Abstraction, including one that I genuinely think fewer than 1% of players have ever seen. Starting with number 1, the sleeping cutscene. This one takes a lot of setup, but it's actually really worth it. Once you're in the game, head to the door with the upward arrow, go up into the hallway, and find your private room upstairs. Then enter the room and turn off the lights. Now here's the most important part. Stand by the bed and you're going to want to wait. Your abstraction meter needs to drop to roughly 30% or lower, which takes roughly about 1 to 2 minutes. Once it hits that threshold, the option to press E or tap on the bed will appear. You're going to want to press this immediately. If you time it just right before you abstract, you will trigger a hidden sleeping cutscene that the vast majority of players have actually never seen. This one isn't in the game yet, but it's significant if you know the show. A developer for the game by the name of Preps posted an official image referencing an infamous line said by Caine, where he says, "I'm gonna put you freaks in your place," with a doll of Ragatha stabbed with a knife, surrounded by plates and more knives. And this is really interesting because it's a direct recreation of Ragatha's torture scene in the show. So what does this mean for the game? Well, the cellar already exists inside of Experience Abstraction. That image is a strong hint that Ragatha is being added, and possibly not as a friendly NPC. My theory is that the cellar becomes a full scripted punishment sequence with Ragatha as the first character you actually face in it. However, this is just pure speculation, but the dev imagery makes it pretty hard to read it any other way. But let me know what you think this means in the comments below. Number 3, a secret obscure room outside the map. This is another secret that genuinely no one has actually talked about yet. To get there, find one of the middle pillars inside of the circus. You're going to want to jump onto it and then keep spamming jump while angling yourself just right into the pillar. It takes a few tries, but once you get the angle right, you'll climb up and end up either on top of the map geometry or fully outside the circus boundary. Here's what I was able to see in my playthrough. Honestly, there's not much. It's just a black box randomly outside of the circus, and I couldn't see if there's anything actually notable inside. It could be a staging area for future content, or maybe it's just a box used for one of the cutscenes in the game. Either way, it's something most players have never seen or even mentioned. Secret 4. If you type any words in Roblox chat that get hashtag censored by the filter, you know what kind of words. A censor bar will physically appear on your avatar's face. Don't mess with it too much though, because getting warned by Roblox just because you wanted to see this feature is just not worth it. Number 5, summoning Caine. This one's more widely known, but it feeds directly into the next two, so it's worth covering. All you have to do to summon in Caine is type Caine's name in the chat exactly like on the screen. Then he'll appear. If you want him to focus on you specifically, try mentioning his name multiple times, because in a public server with other players doing the exact same thing, his attention is going to be pretty split. Which brings us to number 6. Caine's behavior actually changes depending whether or not you're in a public or private server. In a full public lobby, he's pulled in every direction at once. Too many players competing for his attention means his responses are scattered and inconsistent. You're one of dozens trying to interact with him simultaneously. However, in a private server, which are free to make, he focuses entirely on whoever is actually there. The interactions are more deliberate and closer to what the game is actually going for. If you want to experience what Caine is actually supposed to be like, a private server is a real way to do it, even though you actually can. Number 7. If you've ever tried talking to Caine and he doesn't actually respond to any of your actual messages and conversate with you, it's because Caine is actually broken right now. In case you don't know, the game actually gives Caine a real AI chatbot. That AI runs on tokens, aka a usage budget per second, which the developer has to pay. With thousands of players attempting to talk to Caine simultaneously across every server, However, those tokens get exhausted almost immediately. The AI itself is technically still in the game, it just rarely ever functions the way it's supposed to because the game is way too popular for the current token allocation to even handle. Hopefully that changes in a future update because when it does work, it's one of the cooler parts of what actually make Experience Abstraction so unique. Number 8. If you get abstracted and end up in the cellar, there's actually a way you can leave. All you have to do is just press escape on your keyboard or tap the Roblox icon in the top left if you're on mobile and select respawn. Confirm it and you'll come back to your normal state with the abstraction reversed. Whether this is an intentional feature or not, the game is a lot more forgiving about this than what actually happens inside of the show. And subscribe for more Roblox guides.